teams get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Let's go now. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the Ravens' 29-yard line.
49.
Round 80. I know you ain't got it. Hey, hold.
Now Allen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
They'll run on first down. Loss. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 4-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
25, check 25, check 25. 58.
Jackson now down around his goal line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Let's go, defense.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Javon Hargrave has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. It's taken to the 26. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
From the gun, it's Allen. Gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To the air, Allen, open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 37. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Samuels. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 2nd down, Samuels. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 19.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up. Check 52. Kill. Regular.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with Samuels. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, here's Samuels. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
55.
Jackson. And now he'll tuck it and run. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And down to the 27-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now, Jackson. His throw incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Steelers.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. This time Jackson will throw it. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Jackson on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. Andy Isabella was the intended target. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Jackson to throw again. Buying time to his left. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 17-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
To throw, it's Allen. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
And let's get this.
Now it's Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Dancing to his left. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Going right side here, and that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Hard throw, incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can attempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
On 2nd and 12, Allen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Barry on the punt as he gets this one away. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. On 1st down, loss. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. A big play that time for the Ravens. 51 yards. This is something that we know that they like to do, incorporating him out of the backfield into their passing attack.
And it's not just a check down option either. This is a full part of their offense, and they rely on the fact that they can get the ball in his hands.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
This one caught by Isabella.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll run on 1st down. Loss. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And on On this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, loss. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They'll keep it on the ground. Loss. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? They'll run on first down. Samuels, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It was Anthony Averett who got him down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From midfield, here's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
48 to Mike.
From the gun, Allen. He's going to air one out. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Watch the whip.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Jackson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Check it.
Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Finding room to the 20, and he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And down to the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15, as that'll lead to 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Hey, turn it up.
Check.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there, as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point 4th quarter lead. They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. Allen now looks to throw. And he'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Operating from the gun, Allen. He's going to fire one run deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently.
Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 33 yards that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Looking for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 13-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Jackson to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quick.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for the Steelers. And even 40 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line. And that's where the return stops.
The Ravens